You love has a dangerous video game obsession. Psychiatrist Michael Wellner has some signs to look for in your children or in someone you love. You say one of the signs, Dr. Wellner, is when someone starts abandoning friendships.
Sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for many people, we've heard two stories with a common denominator of reason that people had to make a big change in their lives and to become more isolated. In one case, it was someone who was more depressed. In another case, somebody who was injured. And sometimes video games can be a social substitute. But if you recognize that your child has a healthy social life with friends and attachments that bring them joy, and they summarily change, they become a different person, that's an indication to you that the video game playing has inhabited your child, has really taken them to a place where they're no longer on the path of developing the way they were, and that has to be redirected.
You also say an addict starts neglecting responsibilities.
Well, think about it. You'd normally work out. You normally keep yourself in shape because you're expected to perform. You stop paying attention to your health. You stop eating right. You stop exercising. You stop working. You show up late for work. You endanger your job. So there are all kinds of aspects of abandonment of responsibilities where you can say, this isn't recreation anymore. This is where you're losing control of your daily function.
You also say pay attention if someone's performance starts slipping. What are the warning signs of a slipping performance?
Grades. I mean, this is the wonderful avenue that parents have. Pay attention to your children's grades. Talk to your teachers. Listen to what they have to say. Is there a change in your child that's not explained, that there are no drugs, but clearly a child is disengaged from school, and it's not depression, but it's something else that actually is a recreation.
In fact, Mark, did you see Danny's grades start slipping? Did you see some of the signs in retrospect that this was happening to him?
His grades did not change. He just became very withdrawn. Very withdrawn.
You know, Kenny, it's an escape. It's clear. I have 4 kids, and one of them is 18, and he likes to play video games. We really restrict it. It's an escape from pressure. I'm sure that was true for you, Quinn. Yeah. It's an escape. You disappear into that world, and then
virtual reality.
Virtual reality replaces reality that we know. It's such a big deal. Yeah. And those are all signs, and I think parents out there really need to be aware of this. You're right, it can show up in grades, but it really, if you can see it as a parent, they get so into it that you take it away from them, and sometimes there are really extreme results.
Well, as you said, there are a lot of contributing factors,
correct,
right? And so I think what's really terrifying is when these video games get in the hands of kids who are predisposed to violence, who may have some of those other personality traits present. And I think that's when a kid turns into Adam Lanza. That's when a kid turns into Eric Harris or Dylan Klebold at Columbine. I mean, if they have sort of all these factors, I think it just feeds into it, doesn't it?
I think from a professional perspective that the significant watershed of this day and this discussion is that we've all been of a mindset of look out for your children and make sure they're not involved in drugs. And as long as you make sure they're not getting out, they're out and getting high, and they're with their friends, it's okay. And I think that perhaps one of the keys to being able to eliminate this or to mitigate it is to have a dialogue with your friends' parents. Other children's parents are part of that village that is so fundamental to addressing at a community level where we can make a difference.
Well, does someone you know have a dangerous video game habit? You can head to our website at kittykurt.com and take a quiz to help you find out. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after this.